Tennessee didn't play this week, but it's still an important week for the Vols. We're going to talk about a little bit about that. We're going to talk about some recruiting news before the end of the video.
Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
True. Believe it or not, there was a lot to be accomplished this week, Bob, by the Tennessee Vols.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think number one, simple enough, was we've got a lot of nagging injuries. And this was an opportunity to get a lot of these guys healed up and ready for this stretch run over these next few weeks. We've got a very demanding 3 set of games, really back to back to back,
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to have to be fresh on. And I think it come at a good time for us.
Really did. We got a lot of guys. A lot of these guys I'm fixing to mention probably played last week. Probably would have played if we had a game this week, but they was not nearly 100%. But we have MILTON, Hunter Carrick, Crawford, D'Amico Slaughter, Dante Thornton, Aaron Beasley, Elijah Simmons, Ethan Davis, Joshua Josephs, Mays. That's just a bunch of guys who would have played. But man, they're hurting. And I mean, I've seen a lot of guys. You can start to tell that it was.
Well, mid-season, everybody at this point has got bumps and bruises, and some worse than others. And these are some of the guys that's got the worse than others.
Yeah.
Coming at a good time for them. And really comes at a good time for the staff, too, because it gives them an opportunity to tweak some things. I'm sure that they've been wanting to tweak, and really to attempt to do something about the MCCOY situation.
That's true, Tim. We need to figure out who that guy is going to be that fills that slot.
Or is it a group of guys?
Right. Caleb Webb's who I think it probably is, but it could be Chase Nimrod. It could be,
It could be Dante Thornton if he gets a hamstring.
Could be.
Better and head on straight.
Yeah. Might see a little more tight end work.
Oh, I think without doubt. Particularly if we get our Ethan Davis back. He's been nursing an ankle, I believe it was. And if he can get back, I mean,
he's going to be a weapon for us at some point. Not only that, Tim, those things are very important. But, I've been following Tennessee football for about 40 years now. And one thing I've noticed over the years, coming out of an open date, these freshmen usually see a lot of progress, a lot more playing time. I've seen several times over the years where you get a guy who was just barely playing or not playing at all, turns out to be a huge contributor last half of the year.
Well, I mean, honestly, if they don't make a name for themselves or get into the rotation in fall camp, a lot of times once the season begins, they're kind of relegated over to the side and don't really get an opportunity to show the coaching staff what they have. And this allows the coaching staff to, see who can help us. Give them another look, get them back to basics. Let's see what they've stoked up over the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah. Well, there's just certain things you can do during fall camp. But once these guys got their feet wet a little bit, maybe saw some live game action, there's no substitute for game time. So it's a lot of time to work on what these kids was doing wrong during that time and correct them and go forward.
It is. And I'll tell you what, this coach staff, for an open date or, off week, I can't imagine how hard they've had to work going over film, dealing with the young guys I've not dealt with before. Going out, they'll spend the last 4 days on road recruiting. Look at some of these JUCOs that play on Saturday. They've been in high schools all across the country. They've earned their money this past 7 days. That's true. And now it's time to earn it again on the field coming up.
Yeah, huge game coming up this coming weekend with Texas A&M. We will have a preview for that later in the week.
Speaking of out on the road recruiting, Bob, we've had a couple of surprising potential news out there.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Daniel Hill the other day. He came in for a visit, and the rumor was that we may have jumped South Carolina, that it was Tennessee, Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama
probably leaning. The latest news out there is possibly that he may not be enamored with Alabama as much as the people around him, and it may be more of an South Carolina-Tennessee battle, and that he's headed back to South Carolina for a visit this coming week.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it might be the last official before he commits. So
we may be in that one a little bit more than what we thought. Another big development is a guy that we was after and we thought we had a shot at, and we just seemed to.
Well, the thinking was we lost out on him due to a better NIL offer from LSU, and that is Kai Bates.
Kai Bates, huge cornerback.
Yeah. The best one on the board, I think, probably that we've had on the board, maybe possibly. He was thought to be really tight with the Tennessee staff, but we probably didn't match up in the NIL quite as good.
Mm-hmm.
But now with LSU, possibly if they don't get some things turned around, the coaches he thinks he's committed to won't be there.
That's true.
So
yeah, they have definitely not lived up to their talent level on that side of the ball.
Yeah, apparently he's been in contact, considerable contact the last several weeks with Tennessee, and things have, maybe now could argue that maybe he's trying to get a little bit more NIL money out of LSU, but that's not really the thinking right now among the staff. They think it's legit.
Some talk of him coming in for a visit pretty soon, Tim. Is that correct?
I believe so. I don't think they've got a date nailed down that I know of yet.
That's what I was thinking.
But they'll definitely try to get him back on campus. There's no doubt they'll try to get him up here. That would be huge for this class.
Oh, yes, definitely.